Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys make surprise move with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Read into it what you will, but it certainly seems like the Dallas Cowboys have seen enough of embattled first-year defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. In this case, we can interpret this in a literal sense. Eberflus announced he and head coach Brian Schottenheimer have agreed he will move from the sideline to the coaching booth for the final 3 games of the regular season. Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus told reporters he won't be on the sideline for the rest of the season and will instead be calling the defense from the coaching booth, the 33rd team's Ari Merev wrote on X. The Cowboys are 31st in the NFL in scoring defense at a miserable 30.0 points per game and watched their defense flit away their playoff chances in consecutive losses to the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings, in which they gave up a combined 78 points. Eberflus has been on the hot seat for what seems like the majority of the season, and it's only gotten hotter as the Cowboys appear destined to miss the playoffs for a second consecutive season. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says he's been very pleased with Dallas' offense this season, but says the defense has played at a level that he did not expect. The Cowboys Network wrote on X. Jerry Jones, while talking about DC Matt Eberflus, said he believes that coaches should adapt their scheme to the players. Jones doesn't think their talent is an issue. For Eberflus, the last few years have to seem like some kind of surreal nightmare. Eberflus got his first chance to be a head coach with the Chicago Bears in 2022 following 4 seasons as the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. The Bears were as bad as they've been in anyone's memory under Eberflus, going 14-32 before he was fired after a 4-8 start to the 2024 season. The Bears had the worst record in the NFL in 2022, going 3-14, and lost a franchise record 14 consecutive games across the 2022 and 2023 seasons. If Eberflus is making an argument to Jones or Schottenheimer to keep his job, he might start by pointing out the Cowboys traded away the team's best defensive player just 1 week before the regular season when they sent NFL All-Pro edge rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. That might not matter. If there's going to be a sacrificial lamb this season for the Cowboys, you can almost guarantee it's going to be Eberflus. Cowboys star gets devastating injury news before Week 16. The Cowboys have not had the best of luck with their 2 highly paid cornerbacks this season, as both DaRon Bland and Trevon Diggs, who, together, have contracts with a total value worth $190 million, have struggled with injuries and underperformance. The secondary was expected to be the strength of this Cowboys defense, but, instead, it has been one of the worst in the NFL. Diggs has been a sideshow disaster all season, but Bland is becoming a major Cowboys concern, too. On Thursday, pretty devastating news came out about the state of Bland's left foot, which, upon initial diagnosis, will require more surgery and will keep him out for the remainder of this season. Bland is seeking a second opinion, but he has not practiced this week, and even if it is determined he does not need surgery, he is likely done for 2025. Here's what ESPN's Todd Archer wrote on Twitter. Cornerback DaRon Bland is facing surgery on his left foot for the second time in as many years, according to multiple sources. Bland is seeking a second opinion. No surgery has been scheduled yet. Even without surgery, he is likely going to end up on injured reserve W/3 games left. Bland originally injured the foot last August, just before the start of the 2024 season. That injury required surgery and he sat out for 10 games. In the 7 games he did play, Bland was nowhere near the player he had been in 2023, when he was an All-Pro, recorded 9 interceptions and set a record with 5 returned for touchdowns. Bland allowed quarterbacks to pass for a rating of just 60.8 when they threw his way in 2023, but that spiked to 105.7 in the 7 2024 games. It was based off that 2023 season that the Cowboys granted him the massive 4-year, $92 million extension he got back in August of this year. Alas, the foot has not been healthy this season, and it has shown in Bland's play. In 12 games, he has allowed a QB rating of 103.3. At Pro Football Focus, he has earned a grade of 65.2, which is just number 41 in the NFL, out of 112 corners. That grade was 89.5 in 2023, and he was the number 2 rated cornerback in the league. Latest Chiefs loss may signal top 2026 free agent departure, Cowboys eyeing. In a shocking turn of events this season, the Kansas City Chiefs will miss the postseason for the first time since 2014, which means free agent Isaiah Pacheco is likely to sign with a new team. The Chiefs haven't used him much this season, and now the biggest question is whether they'll bring him back. It doesn't seem like that's the case since Pacheco hasn't looked the same since suffering a brutal injury in 2024, while veteran Kareem Hunt handled most of the starting reps on the ground. Kansas City hasn't utilized Pacheco these past few games, and that tells you that the Chiefs are moving in a different direction. However, the same could be the case for Hunt as both are slated to hit free agency in March. Originally selected as a 7th-round pick in 2022, the future looks gloomy for Pacheco as he will be fighting for a new opportunity on a different team. Another report believes that Pacheco is not in the long-term plans, so it's no wonder that they haven't been using him to the best of his abilities. The hope was that Pacheco would return this season to become the main starter for the Chiefs' ground game, but he looked like a shell of his former self last year. If this is the end for Pacheco, it's not the worst for him, as a fresh start might be needed in his situation. After becoming an integral part of winning 2 Super Bowls during his time with the Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys that could pursue him on a low-stakes deal once free agency rolls around. The running game for the Dallas Cowboys hasn't been the same for almost a decade. Ezekiel Elliott was the main starter for the group, but the Cowboys have gone through multiple running backs this 2025 campaign. Veteran Miles Sanders couldn't live up to expectations, but Javonte Williams saw shines of light for the majority of the season. With Sanders injured and both him and Williams slated to become available in free agency in March, Dallas should experiment with Pacheco. Dallas doesn't need to offer the most explosive deal, but a 1-year contract might be doable for both sides. This allows more time for rookie Jaden Blue to get acclimated to the offense if the Cowboys want to see improvement from him. However, Pacheco and Williams could easily be a favorable duo to help Dak Prescott move the chains.